When a bird flies, it doesn't carry its nest. This is Talise. She's normal. She isn't an extreme, super ultralight minimalist traveller. And she's never considered becoming one. She favours having more. Quite a lot more. For different travels, she has separately used a duffel bag or a small suitcase. But they have both had big problems. She could fit a lot into that duffel bag, and so she ended up doing so. Therefore, it soon became far too heavy and difficult to move around. Away from the large polished airport tiles and the closed boot of a taxi, the suitcase doesn't make things much easier either. Its wheels don't roll well on cobbled streets, and they're a huge hassle on uneven paths, slopes, and stairs. At the end of Talise's first trip, the wheels had worn all the way down, which meant she had the impossible task of carrying it. It's clear that a light backpack would be a far better solution. But could I convince her to travel with even less? Would she ever consider travelling without luggage? I wanted to explore how others might feel approaching a no-baggage trip.
I like the idea of becoming minimal. I never actually thought about it before. But I also like the comfort having stuff brings. As possible as it is to leave without many clothes and toiletries, I value taking them. I know it can be a pain to carry it all, but I like that when you arrive, you know you have all your stuff. Being without could make me feel uneasy. I think I'd feel vulnerable, as if I'm missing something. Although I know you say this is much of the excitement. Living with limited options would be my biggest barrier to overcome. I'm so used to having plenty of clothes, knowing I always have fresh outfits. I can't imagine washing my clothes every day. This doesn't appeal to me quite yet. I can feel uncomfortable wearing the same clothes and restricted, no longer able to dress for different moods. I know you can wear layers in different ways to create new looks, and I do like the idea of packing only clothes that go together and items that can be worn in any environment. Previously, I've packed belongings that I haven't worn for weeks or months because they were way too specific. Until I've tried it, I don't know how I will cope, but it would definitely be good not to need help carrying my bag. I imagine being most confident attempting no-luggage travel for a short break, more so than when leaving Brazil for a long time. The main question you really have to ask yourself is, what is the lowest quantity of each item I'll be able to cope with, and do I absolutely need it? I suppose most people could appreciate the benefits to reducing what they pack, but are not so drastic as to travel without even a small backpack. I do want to be more mindful of how much I take. But before I leave without luggage, I want to try less luggage. Far less luggage. Perhaps the more I think about how much I use each item packed, I might gradually consider minimalist travel. After all, how much you carry is a personal choice. For many, going empty-handed may well seem too big a challenge. Once you commit, you have to adapt. You have to be open to experimentation, ready to completely let go. You must want to leave it all behind. Whilst I would still have luggage, next time I travel, I want to go with small luggage, manageable luggage. For me, so long as the things you take don't interfere with your trip. That's what's most important.
Once you set your mind to it, simplifying adventure is actually far easier than you first might think. To travel ultralight, you don't need any fancy equipment. You really don't need much at all. Travelling the world without luggage can seem a fairly foreign concept. Not having might fill many with unease. But we pursue this continual journey, pushed by that very insecurity, that feeling of being foreign whilst belonging to it all.